I'm here today with Natalie.
Yay!
Yay! Natalie is one of my new English tutors, English and literature tutor, actually. So we just wanted to come together and talk a little bit about her English and literature experience, which I think would be really good for people who are maybe like deciding if they wanted to do like 2 English subjects, or if they're trying to decide between English or literature. But yeah, why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Alright, well, yeah, as you said, I'm Natalie. I'm 18 and I just finished high school at Mentone Girls Grammar. I'm going to be studying biomed at Melbourne Uni next year.
Congratulations!
Thank you. As you said, I did English and literature, and I also did biology early in year 11. I did chemistry, methods and French.
Cool.
50 for English and then 43 for literature. I can't remember what it scaled to, but 43 for literature. And then for my ATAR, I ended up getting a 99.05.
Dang. So for the people who out there like don't really know that much about literature because they haven't done it before, or maybe they're like going into year 11, what would you say kind of defines literature? What are the skills you need?
English on steroids.
Okay.
Like everything that you do in English is just amplified.
Right.
Firstly, you have to get through more texts. Even though you only write on 2 texts in the exam, you study 5 during the year, which means that it's 5 to read. So even just that is firstly English on steroids because there's a lot more to get through. Secondly, it's less about themes and like the big ideas in English and more about the small individual ways, that like the more precise ways that the authors do things.
Okay.
At times there are like aspects of that in normal English, but it's really like pulling apart a page or a paragraph or even a sentence and looking at like tiny techniques and inferences and allusions and all those sorts of things.
What made you want to choose to do 2 Englishes?
Well, I actually didn't do literature in year 11. I started off very science-based. I want to be a doctor, and so, you know, naturally the sciences are the way to go. In year 11 I was doing physics instead of literature.
Right.
When I was choosing my year 11 subjects, I was like deciding between the 2. And I just decided, I'll go with physics and see how it goes. I really liked the teacher for physics as well. And then I was alright at it, but like, I mean, I was getting pretty average marks, and I like physics, but I don't like VCE physics as well. The stuff on the course was just really not my cup of tea. And so then I was talking to my year 11 English teacher, who is also the literature teacher for year 12, and just saying, look, you know, I'm actually considering doing literature. It was kind of an obvious option to swap into, firstly because of the blocking with how the subjects worked. It was just something that was available.
Right, so the timing of your timetable.
And also just because I just always really liked books, liked reading. It's something that my parents encouraged heaps when I was younger. I was just like devouring books in primary school especially. And so I thought literature was kind of the natural choice. I ended up doing both simply because my school recommends that we do mainstream English as our English subject. Because they say, you know, people who do literature are generally the best at English. You know, if you're going to do a subject like literature, you like English. And so you're competing against a higher standard of students. And so to have that as your one English subject, which has to be in your top 4, is kind of a bit counterintuitive, because if you're good at English, surely you'd want to be competing against the rest of the state where not everyone else is good at English.
So it sounds like more of a strategic.
It was definitely a bit of a numbers game.
Okay. Well, that's actually really handy to know that your school kind of really strongly emphasise that you should do English and then add on top literature. What advice would you give people who are trying to decide whether or not they should choose literature?
I think talking to the teacher of the subject is the main thing, because it's a subject where you're really going to be interacting with your teacher a lot. And if they know your writing style, if they know how you work and how you analyze and interpret texts, I think they'll be able to advise you whether you're suited to that subject or not.
Okay. You know, the idea of doing both English and literature can be quite daunting for a lot of people. What was it like for you when you were like making those decisions?
I just knew for literature or for physics or whatever subject I wanted to do, I was going to have to put in work anyway. It was just a type of work that was similar to something I was already doing. You know, physics, I was still spending hours and hours going through textbook questions and watching video tutorials and all that. And, you know, literature, it's the same thing. It's not the same type of work, but it's still the same amount of work that I had to put in. And so, yeah, I thought I'd rather enjoy the work that I'm doing if I'm going to have to do it. So, yeah, that was really just something that made the decision a bit easier for me, knowing that it was something that I was going to like and it would just kind of make it all worth it in the end.
No, that's a really good point. I mean, at the end of the day, they're both still VCE subjects. They're both still year 12 subjects. So there's still going to be a lot of work to be put into either one of them, right? I guess one thing I'm really interested in is, you know, choosing two Englishes. Were they synergistic for you at all? Did they overlap in any way?
Yeah, there were times when there was overlap. And, you know, for English subjects, any writing that you're doing is practice. Argument analysis was something that was really similar. At my school, we did argument analysis in term 1. And so we did poetry analysis or close analysis in literature at the end of the year. And so that they were really similar to each other as well, and so it was almost kind of like revision for argument analysis.
When I did literature, even though it wasn't my strong point, I really felt that literature helped me in English. I feel like I could have not done a lot of the deeper, more complex analysis in my text if I hadn't done literature. So I think like I'm really grateful that, like, because back then I had a tutor. It was a tutor that taught me to do literature.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was never like on my mind, and English wasn't like really a strong suit at that point in time. So she was like, you know, you should do literature because it will help to boost your English marks, and you know, English is compulsory. So yeah, that's why I did it. So I think we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for coming today and having a chat.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
it's been really enjoyable.
Yeah, it's pretty much just been like a chat between the two of us. We were talking like this before, basically. But if you guys enjoyed this video, then let us know. If you've got any questions, then please feel to put it in the comment section below. And we've got a couple of other videos that are kind of similar like this, where I chat to some of my tutors and kind of their experience with English and just VC in general. So I'll link them up above, down below. It's very like typical YouTube stuff, right? But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
My pleasure. And
Hope it helps.
Yeah, hope it helps you guys. See you guys next time. Bye.